Hey besties, welcome back to Manifest with Beth. If you're ready to shift into the version of you who has it all, then you're in the right place. Hit that like button, subscribe, because this does help me get out to other people who may be looking for answers themselves. And if you want help locking in your new reality, click the link in my bio or email me for coaching at manifestwithbeth@yahoo.com. I was asked to do a video on why circumstances do not matter, techniques to help ignore the 3D, which you don't have to ignore the 3D. You absolutely can. You can ignore the 3D, but you can also acknowledge the 3D, but you don't have to accept the 3D as true, as your reality. So it's okay to acknowledge it. You do not have to ignore every single thing, okay? You don't, but you absolutely can if you want to. But it's okay to acknowledge it and be like, okay, so this is what's happening in my reality right now, but it doesn't matter because I've already decided that it's still mine, no matter what shows up in my 3D. You can acknowledge it, but you don't have to say it's true. You don't have to say that's your reality. No, your reality is up here, guys, in your 4D, not the 3D. Your 4D is your imagination. The 4D is where all the magic happens. But anyways, and also proof of manifestation happening. So that's what this video is going to be about. Why circumstances don't matter, techniques to ignore the 3D, and proof of manifestation happening. So let's get into why circumstances don't matter, why the 3D is irrelevant. The 3D is considered a reflection of our inner assumptions and beliefs. So that's pretty much saying that our conscious and subconscious assumptions are manifesting into our physical reality, creating our physical reality. Now, you may experience a delay. Okay, a delay may exist between changing assumptions and then seeing that change reflected in the 3D. That's okay, that's normal. I'll get more into that later. But our desires are considered instant the moment that they're assumed. So the moment you decide, oh, this is mine now, I have it, it's instant, it's yours, it's done. But there could be a time lag before they become visible in the physical world. The delay is not seen as a failure, but as a natural part of the process where the physical world catches up to our inner state. So when you look at your 3D reality, you're seeing a delayed mirror. What's around you now is old news, leftovers, as I like to call it, manifested from old thoughts, assumptions, fears, beliefs. It's delayed evidence of who you used to be, not who you're choosing to be now. Okay, it's not current. It's not real time. The 3D is simply a mirror. What you're seeing now is simply the echo of old assumptions you used to feed. If it doesn't look like your new story yet, that's okay. That's okay. It's just the residue. The moment you stop reacting and stay in your new state, the reflection has no choice but to shift. So don't recycle the past by reacting. Persist in who you are now. And, you want to be the version of yourself that has it. So persist in that version. Persist in that identity. Persist in those thoughts that align with that version of yourself. But when you react to the 3D, to the circumstances, all you're doing is regurgitating that same version back into your reality. Okay? You are the operant power. You create through assumption and through identity, through who you're being. So the moment you decide something is yours and persist in it, the 3D begins to rearrange, even if you can't see it yet. There's always movement. There's always movement. The shift is instant. And that's what I mean by manifestation is instant. The moment you decide that your desire is yours, it's done, the bridge of events starts taking place. Okay, movement starts happening behind the scenes. Whatever needs to move starts moving for you to get your desire. Even if you can't see it, even if you can't see anything, there's always movement, guys. Always. I never saw movement during my manifestations until after. After I got it, I realized there was movement. So if you don't see anything, don't freak out. It's okay. The shit is always happening. The shift is taking place. Something else people have an issue understanding. Repetition rewires the subconscious, right? So repetition is getting you into the state of having your desire. And the more you return to the state, the more you create the new identity, this new version of yourself, this new story. So you might hear me talk about a story a lot, old story, new story, and that's what I'm talking about. The old version, the new version, the old self, the new self, the old identity, the new identity. It's all the same thing. It's all the same thing, okay? But that's what I mean when I say you keep going back to the old story. You keep going back to the old identity. So the repetition helps you get into the state of having it, and the state creates that identity. Okay, so this is where repetition creates your reality. It's pretty much getting you into the state, and then the state creates this new identity. So yeah, robotic affirming helps you create this new version of yourself. Okay, but anyways, I just wanted to clear that up because I know some people are kind of confused about that. But anyways, what was I going to say? Delays, I think. You can experience delays when you keep telling yourself you don't have it, or when you are constantly looking for proof in the 3D that it's working. Yes, this can cause delays because you're going back to the old story, to the old identity, and you're reaffirming, I don't have it yet. I need proof to know that it's working because it's not here in my physical reality. It's not working. Stop doing that shit. So when you do that, no, it's mine, it's done, I already have it. Reaffirm for your desire. But that is why some people may take longer to get their shit, because they keep returning to the old identity of not having it. There doesn't have to be a huge delay, guys. It really depends on you. And if you keep switching identities, if you keep going back to the old story, keep telling yourself you don't have it yet, your subconscious can only serve one master. It cannot serve two. So pick a story and stick to it. You don't need to fix, you don't need to fight or force what's in front of you, okay? What's in your 3D, you don't need to try to fix, fight, or force it. You just need to stop assigning meaning to it and choose the reality you want to actually live in, okay? So go within, go in your 4D, in your imagination, and start affirming for what you actually want to experience. Fuck the 3D, y'all. It don't matter. Your 4D matters, okay? But reacting to the 3D is like arguing with a mirror and expecting it to change first. You don't manifest from the outside in. You manifest from the inside out. So you change your inner world, and then the outer world reflects it. Your imagination, your dominant assumptions, and the identity you persist in create the next version of your reality. So when something shows up in the 3D that contradicts what you want, it's not a sign you failed. It's an opportunity to stand firm in your new story. The moment you stop reacting and start assuming from the end, the 3D will have no choice but to reflect your inner world. It has no choice. It has to conform. It's the law. Circumstances literally have to conform because they're never stronger or more powerful than the story you tell yourself, okay? The 3D is irrelevant, and the real power is in the 4D, like I've been saying. Everything is created in the 4D first, which is our imagination, and then is reflected into the 3D, our current reality that we see. So change your inner world first, and the outer world has to follow. Now let's get started on techniques to ignore the 3D. You can do mental muting. So what that is when something in your 3D upsets you, you mentally mute it. You literally tell yourself, that's not my truth anymore. I don't accept it. And shift your attention back to the new story, back to the new identity. You don't need to argue with it, guys. Stop arguing with it. Stop it. Stop feeding it, okay? You can choose to ignore and override 100%. When the 3D shows you something that you don't like, silence it in your mind. Just tell it to shut the hell up. But tell it, that's not my reality anymore. Don't argue with it. Don't analyze it. Just mentally mute it and return to the version you've already claimed. Keep returning to your decision. Keep standing firm in your decision that this is mine. Keep returning to the new identity of yourself. Robotic affirming, which is my fave. It's pretty much my go-to, okay? This is what I teach. Affirming, robotic, focused, whatever. But you pick 1 to 3 affirmations that match the life you want. Say them 100, 200, 300 times a day like a machine. Say them however much you want to say them. You're retraining your subconscious to think from that new version of yourself. Repeat your new story over and over like a machine, and even if it feels fake, okay? So repeat it until it starts feeling a little bit more natural, and eventually it will, because when you repeat your affirmations, it dissolves resistance, it dissolves the old story, you're creating a new identity, and you're getting familiar with this new affirmation, okay? So even if it feels fake, keep going. Saturate your mind with whatever your affirmations are, whether, it's already mine, I'm the version of myself who has it, Repetition overrides reaction and dissolves the old identity, like I said, okay? So whenever you start noticing the doubt, the wavering, the opposing thoughts, that's resistance, repetition overrides that shit, okay? And it will get easier the more you do it. I promise. It gets easier because every day you do it, you are dissolving more and more and more of that shit, of the resistance, of the old story. It is dying off the more you do it. Inner conversations are amazing, guys. So you pretty much just talk to people in your mind as if everything's already how you want it. If you're manifesting a relationship, have conversations in your head like, I love how secure and loving this feels now. I'm so happy in this relationship. If it's money, wow, it just keeps getting easier. Money is constantly flowing to me. I just, got a huge raise today. Talk to them in your imagination as if they're already conforming. Imagine your SP saying, I can't stop thinking about you. Or your boss saying, we're giving you a raise. Your imagination creates. Use it deliberately. I can't say that word. I don't know why I tried. Deliberately. You know what I'm saying. Don't judge me. Reality rejection. So reject the reality you see. Say, this isn't my reality anymore. My true reality is unfolding now. Every time that old version shows up, reject it and reaffirm the new. Refuse to give meaning. Okay? When something bad happens, don't label it, because your subconscious doesn't know what good and bad is. It just takes you on your word. It just takes whatever you repeat, and it's like, oh, this is who we are now. You've been repeating this a lot, so I guess I better make it real. So don't label shit, okay? Say, this is meaningless. It's old news. The less attention and emotion you give it, the faster it dissolves. Binge the new story, whether you write it, which is scripting, loop it, affirming, record it, which is I do sometimes. I self-recorded my own affirmations on the Parrot app, and I would just listen to it in my headphones. But write it, loop it, record it, live in it, okay? You don't need to believe it at first. You don't. You probably won't. I didn't. Okay? But you just need to drown out the old story. That's all. Repetition helps us drown out the old one, the doubts, the wavering, the opposing thoughts, the resistance, the old identity. You have to starve the old story. Stop feeding it every time you have an unfavorable circumstance. Stop choosing to dwell in the old story every time something happens. You have to eliminate the old story. Okay? You have to kill it, pretty much. We have to kill it off. Okay? Identify as the operant power. Remind yourself. The 3D has no power. It doesn't. I do. You're not the victim of what you see. You're the source. You're the source. You're the creator. You're not responding to reality. You're choosing it. You lead and the 3D follows. You're the boss and the 3D is your employee. The 3D is your bitch. So stop letting the 3D boss you around. Okay, stop being a bitch in your own reality, guys. I mean that with love. My ring light was dying, so I had to plug it up, but that looks a lot better. Okay, anyways, proof that manifestation works, okay? So the law of assumption works because your outer world, your 3D, always mirrors your dominant inner state, okay? I've watched people go from being ghosted to being in committed relationships, from overdraft fees to consistent money flow, from chronic insecurity to full-blown confidence, okay? Simply by refusing to believe in the 3D and instead assuming the end result over and over. They chose to persist in the end result. So every success story you've ever heard, whether they knew it or not, was created by someone who assumed something to be true before it showed up. I mean, come on, guys. You've already done this 1,000 times. You've been manifesting your entire life, okay? When you just knew something would happen and it did, that was assumption. And when you consciously use the law and persist in the unseen longer than you react to the seen, it has to harden into fact. It has to. It's the law. Your only job is to keep assuming, keep affirming. Your only job is to affirm, even if the world tries to tell you otherwise. I've had clients who were dealing with the worst 3D, like I said, and I've also dealt with some shitty ass circumstances. Whether it's ignored by SP, broke, stuck in constant reaction mode. They started affirming like a robot, refusing to react. And within weeks or even days, yes, it can happen within days, the SP reached out of nowhere people with overdraft accounts now having constant money flow, they all stopped giving the 3D authority and chose a new reality with stubborn conviction. This doesn't happen because you beg or because you wish. It happens because you assume. Okay, you don't get what you want. You don't get what you want. You get what you assume to be true. Okay, so stop giving your power away. Okay, stop giving your power away. And there are so many success stories you can watch. Like, my eviction is proof that the law works. And I'm sorry if you're tired of hearing about it. I'm sorry. But my eviction is really what put it into place for me. Like, oh shit, this is real. Okay? The day before I got my manifestation, I was threatened with police coming to summon me to court. Like, give me a paper, a summons for court or whatever. Literally the day before I got my manifestation. Okay? But I kept persisting. Like, that was a very shitty circumstance. I was manifesting for 2 months not to get evicted, and all of a sudden I get threatened with cops coming to summon me to court. I was devastated, but I kept persisting. Okay, I kept persisting. And then the next day, I was told I could stay. Okay, I manifested the eviction, and I know that. And I also manifested getting to stay. We are always manifesting. We manifest the shitty circumstances. And I know that sucks to hear, but we do. And we can manifest the reality we desire. Also, you don't need proof. You don't need proof. And even so, there are thousands of success stories online. And some of y'all still refuse to think it's real. But that's okay, because you don't need to believe it's real. The law of gravity is real, whether you believe it or not. It's always working, just like the law of assumption. You've been manifesting perfectly your whole freaking life. Now you're just aware of it consciously. That's the only difference. So just apply it. Make a decision that you have what you want and return to that decision. Keep affirming. That's how I return to my decision, is I affirm. I reaffirm for it. Keep reminding yourself it's yours. No matter what you see, okay, you will get it. It has no choice but to show up. It's the law. I know I say that a lot, but it's the law. You just need to apply it. And not only that, but you don't need proof when you assume the worst. Like, you guys never needed proof to assume the worst. You don't need proof when you're manifesting the things in the 3D. You didn't need proof for that it worked. Okay, you didn't need proof when you manifested the breakup. You didn't need proof when you were assuming that SP was cheating on you. SP didn't love you. Okay, you didn't need proof for that shit. Where was the proof then? Oh, that's right. Your thoughts were the proof. Your assumptions were the proof. Your reality is the proof. You are the proof. Who you were being and what you were thinking, that's the proof. Okay, you are the proof. You don't need external validation. You don't. I promise you. I promise you don't have to fully believe it, but you also don't need external validation. You just go within and tell yourself you already have it. I had zero proof with my eviction. For 2 months I was affirming. I had zero proof. Nothing to tell me that it was working, that it was happening. I actually, the whole summons thing, I felt like it was getting worse when I got that. But you know what? I still kept going. I still kept deciding that I get to stay. It didn't matter how I felt. I was not focused on how I felt. And a lot of the days, most of the days, I was anxious, I was stressed, I was scared. I did not let that stop me, though. I didn't let the wavering stop me. When I would waver, I'd be aware of it and I'd redirect my thoughts to the new story. I simply kept deciding to persist in the new story by listening to my self-recorded affirmations every single day until it showed up in my reality. I applied the law no matter the circumstances, no matter what was being thrown in my face on a daily basis, and the circumstances were in my face every single day. I didn't care about anything else. Okay, I didn't care about anything else. I just kept persisting in the new story. But I did not let the circumstances keep me from persisting. I kept going, guys. That's all you have to do is keep going until you get it. And you will get it. If you keep going, you will get it. Okay? It has no choice but to reflect into your 3D reality. Nothing else matters. You're not waiting on your manifestation. Your manifestation is waiting on you to assume it's already done. Your manifestation is waiting on you to identify as a version of yourself that already has it. So don't make it seem difficult, because it's not. You make a decision and you stick to it. You get disciplined. You stay disciplined. Okay? Wavering is a choice. Returning to the old story and then choosing to dwell in it is a choice. You have the power to say, no, that's not my reality. I don't accept it as true, and then reaffirm for your desire. You have that power. Okay? Discipline, think of it as mental hygiene. Discipline is mental hygiene. Okay? Just like brushing your teeth, you maintain your mental diet daily. You don't let every fear or doubt spiral into a whole story. You notice it, you drop it, and you return to your chosen assumption. Discipline is choosing your story again and again. It's you deciding to keep returning to it. The 3D may tempt you with evidence of the old reality. Discipline is the practice of not reacting, not arguing with it, not collapsing back into the old self. It's the choice to say, no, I already know who I am and I know it's mine. I already have everything I desire. It's mine and it's mine now, no matter what I see or hear. Discipline is persistence, not perfection. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect with affirmations or never doubt again. You don't have to never doubt again. It's okay if you have doubts. Just redirect your thoughts. We're human. It's okay. But discipline is about getting back on track each time. Doubt is natural, but discipline means you don't stay there. You don't dwell in the doubt. Discipline is trust. It's trusting that your inner world creates, even if the outer world hasn't reflected it yet. You don't keep digging up the seed to check if it's growing. You just know it is. And even if you don't feel like you know it's working, that's okay, because it's still working. It's always working. Whatever you say is true, well, then it's true. Whatever you assume, well, then it's going to be reflected into reality. Discipline is also self-concept. When you identify as a version of you who already has it, discipline feels natural, okay? It's not effort. It's alignment. You're simply living as that person, that version of yourself, okay? Discipline and manifestation is not about working harder, but it's about staying faithful to your chosen state long enough for it to become your new default identity. Now, you don't have to wake up every morning excited. A lot of the times I'd wake up with a pit in my stomach, okay? But I still did it. When people go to the gym, they might not always be excited for it or want to, but they are disciplined, and they do it anyways. They show up for themselves because they have goals, and they discipline themselves until they reach the goals. So even if you don't feel like it, stay disciplined and do it anyways. Literally just change your thoughts and reality will follow. But don't expect to see results when you affirm for like 10 minutes a day and the rest of the day you're living in the old identity, still looking for proof, still saying you don't have it. Energy flows where focus goes. So the more you focus on the negative, the more you will receive. The more you focus on the positive, the more you will receive. Start focusing on what you want to experience, guys. But that's why I like robotic affirming or listening to my own recorded affirmations. For one, my own recorded affirmations helped me be disciplined and be consistent and show up for myself every day. Because I didn't feel like persisting in the new story. So I recorded them and I put my headphones in and it made it easier to persist, okay? It made it easier to be consistent and to stay disciplined because all I had to do was push play and put my headphones in and that was it, okay? Okay, that's all I did. So, but yeah, that's why I like robotic affirming and that's why I liked listening to my recorded affirmations. Because that's becoming my dominant state, which will become my new identity. The repetition dissolves the old identity and feeds the new one. Okay, so the repetition is getting us familiar with this new identity. It's getting us familiar with the affirmations we're saying. So if we're saying, we have the assumption we're so broke, but we're saying, I'm so rich. We start killing off the I'm always broke and we start feeding the I'm so rich. And then that has to show up in our reality. We're getting it familiar with that and we're choosing that new identity over time, okay? It's reprogramming the subconscious. It's changing beliefs. It's dissolving resistance. So just do it. Apply the law already. Affirm and persist and you will receive. But just do it. Even when you don't feel like doing it, just do it. Just fucking do it, guys. Okay. Alright, that's it for this video. Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Love you, besties.